Everyone, Hobbyist here. We are back at it again with another Nemesis character guide. Last time we covered the mechanic and his great ability at fixing things. But now we're going to be talking about the soldier. Or decided, depending on the player card that you got and the objectives that you had, that you wanted to go with the soldier. Obviously, the soldier is strictly combat. I mean, you don't really have to think that hard about it. He's really good at fighting aliens. He has a lot of counters and great tactics and abilities. He's very trained. His weapons and everything about him are strong. So, if you're worried about specific aliens, I would say that the soldier is a good way to go. Soldier is going to be especially important inside of carnomorphs, because the carnomorphs, you want to kill them as quickly as possible and make sure there's nothing left. Or you could just say the same thing about any of the other alien races that exist inside the entirety of the Nemesis franchise. But, just kind of want to go over this real quick. When the objective that I would recommend the most in order to try to get the soldier in your arsenal is to do any of these two personal objectives here. So where you see this one that says where the nest must be destroyed, or if you have to kill the queen, I would say that the soldier would be your best pick in these types of scenarios, or escorting other characters, or anything of that nature, because like I said, he's your combat heavy. So that's honestly what I have to say about that. And now we're going to go to his action cards. When it comes to the soldier, he has 4 cards that are specific only to the soldier's deck, nowhere else. Every other card that he has inside of his 10-card deck is generic for every single Nemesis character, whether it be Lockdown, Base Game, or Aftermath. They're all the same. This one is full auto. This is probably the big move of the soldier. It's combat only, as you could see, which is different from a lot of what we've been showing in the past. Meaning that if you are in a room with aliens is the only time that you can use this action card. And what full auto does, for no cost whatsoever, just paying the card, is to discard all ammo from the assault rifle to perform a shoot action. You deal 1 additional injury for every 2 ammo discarded, even if you miss. So, guaranteed damage is absolutely awesome. It really, really, really is. I can't even tell you how many times this card has saved my life. Obviously, you cannot attack another player with this. You can't shoot other people. That's not the way that Nemesis is because of the chips that are inside of the characters. But this will greatly save you if you are in a pinch. And I'm going to explain why in just a moment of when we get to the later section of covering the items and the quest items that the soldier would have. Fire is the next one that the soldier has that is not just exclusive to him. The scout and the captain also have covering fire, but it works essentially the same as those two, but there's actually a little bit of a difference when it comes to the covering fire for the soldier. So obviously it is combat only, meaning you have to be in a room with an alien in order to use the action that's on the card, and it costs you nothing, which is great. So it says discard 1 ammo. You and or one other chosen character within your room may escape the room, moving to the same room, without triggering an intruder attack. The key difference here is that with the captain, when we talked about him in that video, was the fact that the captain only could save himself with covering fire, and that's normally the case with a lot of other characters. But the fact that the soldier can decide to take someone with him could be incredibly important, both from a cooperative standpoint or semi-cooperative. Because this says and or, I like to treat it with the courtesy of allowing that player to choose without any outside influence or anything like that, per se. He can be a little bit more secretive with that one. That's how I treat all cards and rooms in Nemesis, is that if it says and or if it just says or, then I let them decide. So you could be like, yeah, I'm going to play covering fire. The question then becomes, does the soldier want to take that person with them too? Or are they going to leave them behind to die and just go out on their own? So that is something to keep in mind. The advantages to the soldiers for either way is that if you decide to take that extra player with you into that next room, because you're in a room with another character, you don't have to roll for noise. So that's really important. Whereas if you go off by yourself, well, you won't get attacked by that intruder. You would still have to roll for noise whenever you got into that next room. So that's something that's important to keep in mind. One that we have for the soldier is taking aim. Again, it is combat only, meaning you have to only use it when you are in a room with an intruder. To do anything else is down here. It also is a free cost card, so all it means is just play the card and then you can do the thing. What you can do is then perform a shoot action with your energy weapon. You can re-roll your first result on the combat die. The soldier is literally the only character that I have seen yet that exclusively has this ability to himself. I haven't seen anybody in Aftermath, I haven't seen anybody in Lockdown, and especially nobody in the base game that has the ability to get that second roll. Because the way that shooting works, it's always a gamble. Because for anybody else, it's always you play an action card from your hand, you discard the ammo first, and then you gamble with the die. You don't get to roll and find out and then discard the ammo from the weapon of your choice. No. You have to take that gamble. And with the soldier, you get a little bit more confidence of being like, okay, I missed this first shot, this would have been horrible. I'm going to pick it up and re-roll again, and hopefully get some sort of hit, depending on the type of intruder that you're going up against. So, this is a great card to always have. This card can actually be one of the few, if not only, other cards inside the soldier's deck that can be played at any time. There's no cost to it at all. There's no in combat or out of combat, so you can use it just as a sort of reaction card. And it's called Nerves of Steel. You discard this card during a surprise attack to ignore its effects. That is absolutely huge. Especially since if you have been playing carefully to where you keep all the cards in your hand to where you aren't going to get surprise attack in the first place, or sometimes you wait until the actual intruder attack card comes out to see if you get hit, then that's going to be really important. Honestly, whenever I play as a soldier, that's when I always wait. If I am going to get surprise attacked, I want to see if the intruder attack card even hits me first, before I'd be like, nope, Nerves of Steel. That card does nothing, I'm not getting damaged at all. Which, honestly, sometimes surprise attacks, especially that tail attack that the queen has, really saves your butt. So, going back to these exclusives, as we can see, every single card except for one of these four is combat exclusive, meaning that you can't use these action cards anywhere else. So, if you want to make the most use of your combat abilities and how strong you are from a prowess standpoint as a soldier, take it to the aliens. Be the one to fight back, to charge into the room. Obviously, make sure you're not outnumbered, but if you're seeing that the aliens are kind of spread out all over the place, you see a couple adults here and there, a couple creepers, maybe the occasional breeder or queen, then maybe that would be your chance to kind of jump into the fray and give your teammates either the chance to escape or to get the character or get the corpses that you need in order to discover those weaknesses. Like I said, go crazy with it. So, honestly, I'm one of the biggest fans of the soldier because it allows you to play on the offensive and not be so much on the defensive or go with the more of the support roles that are like the scientist and the captain. So that's just something to think about. So now let's kind of go down to why I was saying that full auto is really good, especially inside of the soldier's kit. This is the starting item of the soldier. The assault rifle. It's an energy weapon, so unlike the captain, you can use energy charges in order to reload it. As you can see, it also starts with 5 ammo, which is great. It's probably more than most characters ever get. But this ability makes it why it's so important. That full auto is absolutely dangerous with the soldier, because it says each time that you deal at least 1 injury of any kind, it doesn't have to be a specific symbol or anything like that, you deal 1 additional injury on top of that. So basically, for every hit that you get, you're always doing 2 hits. And if we go back to that full auto card that I showed earlier, this one right here, it says you deal 1 additional injury for every 2 ammo discarded if you miss. So, starting with 5, if you have a fully loaded assault rifle, when you do the full auto, here's how it all maths out. So for every 2, that's 1 damage. So you're getting 2 guaranteed damage right out of the gate with full auto, with your gun fully loaded. Then you take your shoot action after the fact. If you then roll a 2 or a 1, you're doing an additional 3 or 4 damage on top of that, totaling it to up to like maybe 6 or 7, which no other cards are able to do that. In fact, if you time it right, you could literally slaughter the queen on the first go that you take a shot at her. You literally could. So the soldier is the best character for trying to slay the queen. He literally is, because that full auto with a fully loaded assault rifle is just the best combo that you could possibly ever get, because you essentially have just unloaded a full mag right into the queen, and she's going to die pretty much instantaneously, if not on next turn. Maybe with a slim chance of running away, but more times than not, she is going to die. Come down here to the starting items, or the quest items, I should say, for the soldier. And this will be probably the first character that I say this, but get both quest items immediately. That should probably be your first or second priority in addition to fulfilling your objective, because both quest items significantly enhance the soldier. I don't care if you're playing solo, if you're playing co-op, or you're just playing standard semi-co-op, always get both quest items for the soldier. It is going to save you a lot. So, let's kind of go over both of them real quick. The first one that we'll start off with is armor. It's going to cost you 1 card to play from your hand in order to activate this item. In order to do so, you have to discard tools or duct tape in order to activate it. You're not really the fix-it type, so it might be good to be able to get rid of these. But if you do, it is combat only, it is 1 use only, it goes in your inventory slot as you're essentially wearing it, and it says you can discard this card after an intruder attack to ignore that attack. Again, it's essentially Nerves of Steel, but especially if you're trying to escape and they might take a swipe at you, or if it's in the intruder attack phase during the event phase of the game, that you could just be like, nope, this didn't do any damage to me. So that is another way to come in clutch. The way that I always use the armor when it comes to the soldier is that I always make it a last-ditch effort, to where I'm not going to take it when I'm at full health. I'm not going to discard it and prevent that damage at the first hit. If I'm on maybe my 2nd serious wound, or if I'm on my 3rd serious wound though, that is when I'm going to have that one last-ditch effort in order to be able to give myself time to escape, assuming that the intruder attack card that I pull on the escape or during the intruder attack phase would either kill me or affects even the intruder that I'm in. To where if it doesn't, you can freely run away. But if it does, you can be like, nope. And it gives you that 1 extra chance to maybe heal yourself up, get rid of your wounds, and what have you. So, like I said, always activate this. It is going to save you by a lot. Regardless of the order, whether you're doing the armor or autoloader first, again, always unlock both quest items for the soldier. You are really going to see the benefits of it all. In fact, this one's probably even easier, because it's going to cost you 1 card like all quest items do when it comes to activating them. But you can activate it inside of the armory room. Now, the armory room, if you don't remember from the room sheet, is a room 1 room that is always on the ship. It's just a matter of where is it this time. And the room itself already gives you the ability to add 2 ammo to your energy weapon if you're ever in need to reload. But what the autoloader does on top of that is that it extends the magazine of your assault rifle. So you're going to slide this bad boy right under your assault rifle, and it's going to add 1 extra ammo to your capacity. So it essentially loads you up to 6 ammo on your assault rifle, to where you can have 6 bullets, to where if you deal damage, you're dealing 2 damage every time. The other great thing about this card is that if the assault rifle is loaded using the energy charge item, that action costs you nothing. You don't have to play any cards at all you could just discard the energy charge and just fully reload yourself. Where you just stick the bad boy like such, and now you have a 6 ammo weapon at your disposal. Like I said, the soldier is absolutely fantastic. He has one of the best starting items with the best possible bonuses added to that. The auto loader makes it so where its reloading is way easier. And yeah, the soldier is really, really good. He's so good at combat. And then, of course, just like every other character in Nemesis, the other 5 cards are going to be like your rest, your interruption, your demolition, 2 search cards, and your basic repairs cards, which everybody has. So, now, overall, like I mentioned previously, the soldier is the best combat character inside of base game Nemesis. Probably one of the best, just period. Because his assault rifle does crazy damage, full auto makes it to where you get guaranteed hits even if you miss. Like I said, you could be an unstoppable alien killing machine. So yeah, whenever you get all your quest items and stuff, you could be like, aliens, bring the smoke. Who wants the smoke with me? Because I'm going to smoke you out with my assault rifle. Like, it is literally great. Obviously, there's glaring weaknesses of, if you have to kill the soldier, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to want to interact with the rooms a lot more. That's really his weaknesses. He doesn't have a whole lot of room interaction or easy room access in comparison to the scientist or the pilot, as we'll get to later, or fixing things like the mechanic. So yeah, here's my list of pros and cons. Like I said, great at combat, has some of the best quest items that I would say always activate in any game you play of Nemesis. And yeah, that's truthfully what I think about the soldier.